Hey guys, so today I have swatches of the Dreamscape collection from Cirque Colors. There are 7 polishes here all together, and they are all, how do I describe these? They all have a contrasting shimmer and a holographic sparkle to them, so they're all the same finish in different colors. These are available right now, so I will link the website down below, and I'll get into the swatches. The first polish is called Reverie, and this is a peachy nude with the scattered silver holographic glitter and then a purple shimmer, which is really not showing up on camera. You can kind of see it there, but the glare's in the way. Not showing up on camera as strong as it is in person. So this one is a very light color, and it is very sheer on that first coat. You do get a decent amount of that glitter out though, and the shimmer, even though the polish itself is not built up at all, there's like no opacity to it on the first coat, you can still see the shimmer pretty well. And good formula on this one as well. So this one does start to build up on the second coat, but is still pretty sheer. The glitter that's in here is very, very, very fine, and this goes for all of the polishes in this collection. It's very fine. It's not going to be too difficult to get off of the nail, but you do get the slightest bit of texture from it. So you will want top coat to cover that up. It's very, very minor. It's nothing like wearing a big chunky glitter, but there is still some sandpaperiness, I guess, there when everything is completely dried down. So I top out at 3 coats here. I can still see a little bit of nail line on 3 coats. But overall, for the shade that this is with the shimmer in it and how sheer it was on the first coat, I will say it does build up pretty well for what it is in 3 coats. It's one of those polishes that I don't mind having the nail line show just because it is such a lighter nude shade. I definitely think my tastes are changing quite a bit when it comes to sheer polishes. I feel like I like them more and more as time goes on. So that is 3 coats of Reverie. The next polish is called Deja Vu, and this is a gray with the scattered silver holographic, and there is that purple shimmer. So this one is also a bit sheer on that first coat. They're all, for the most part, they're all going to be because you do want that shimmer to stand out well. Again, you get a decent amount of that glitter out, but not so much that it overpowers the rest of the polish. And a good formula on this one as well. So this one is starting to build up on that second coat. I do have a bit of nail line still though, and with pretty much, I think all of these polishes, if I remember correctly, there are virtually no brush strokes through that shimmer after everything is dry. So this one does cover completely in 3 coats. There is a little bit of nail line showing with the second coat, but I also feel like I like the shimmer a little bit better in 2. I guess I shouldn't say that until the third coat rather is completely dry. But it just seems like the shimmer is a bit stronger on that second coat, but also that's dry and the third isn't, so I'll give that one a pass for a second. So I let that third coat dry completely and then realized I don't really have anything to compare the level of shimmer to because I covered the second coat with a third. I think it looks fine though. So that is 3 coats of Deja Vu. The next polish is called Paradiso, and this is a turquoise base with, again, hopefully you can see it, that strong purple shimmer and silver scattered holographic, very, very fine glitter. So this one is a bit sheer on that first coat. They're all going to be because you want that shimmer to be able to stand out. And the shimmer does stand out really well on this one also. It contrasts really nicely with the base color. And a good formula on this one as well. So this one is starting to build up here on that second coat. I do still have a bit of nail line here, and I think it's going to show even more after the second coat is fully dry. It might be because I got distracted and this first coat was on longer than the other coats that I've already swatched, but I do feel like this one dried a little more dull than the others did. So this one, it does cover completely in 3 coats. It did get a little bit more sheer after the second coat dried, but not as much as I thought it would have. But I do think you get a little bit better of a turquoise color here with the third coat. And again, you will want top coat for shine and then for that little tiny bit of texture that you get from that silver holographic glitter. So that is 3 coats of Paradiso. The next polish is called Cloud 9, and this is a very pretty lighter purple with a, I'm going to call it pink, but I could definitely see where it could be considered a red shimmer as well. It's like a dark pink, if that makes sense. And then that scattered silver holographic, very fine glitter. So this one is also a bit sheer on that first coat. You can see the shimmer is standing out really nicely already though. And good formula on this. So this one does start to build up pretty well on that second coat. I still have just a little bit of nail line here, so I am going to do a third. And again, you will want top coat here. So this one does cover completely in 3 coats. I feel like none of the shimmers are really showing up as strong on camera as they are in person, but the shimmer on this one particularly stands out really nicely against that base color. And it does dry a little bit dull. So that is 3 coats of Cloud 9. So the next polish is called Lucid Dream, and this is a very like a greenish blue base. The shimmer in here, on camera it looks blue, from some angles in person it looks blue, and other angles it looks purple, so I don't really know where to call that one. And then that scattered silver holographic glitter. So this one is also a bit sheer on that first coat, although I think this probably covers the best out of all of them so far. They're going to start covering a little bit better here towards the end of the collection because the colors do get darker. And good formula on this one. So this one does start to build up on 2 coats. I'm going to add a third here because it is still a bit sheer. It definitely dried. More sheer than it looked when it was wet, like considerably more sheer than it looked when it was wet. At least to me. And this one seems to dry, I mean they all dried a little bit dull, but this one seems to dry at least faster. It got dull a lot quicker than the other ones did. So this one does cover completely in 3 coats. I don't know if you can see, but there are some brush strokes through that shimmer while this is wet, but those do go away when it dries. This definitely doesn't have the strongest, most standout contrasting shimmer of all the polishes in the collection. It's a bit more subtle here. So that is 3 coats of Lucid Dream. The next polish is called Nocturne, and this is not quite a periwinkle base. I feel like it's a little bit too purple for that. And then it has this blue-greenish shimmer to it, and then that scattered silver holographic. So this one is also a bit sheer on that first coat. More than I was expecting for it being one of the darker colors, but they've all really been this sheer, so I shouldn't be too surprised. I can't speak. And a good formula on this one as well. So this one is still a bit sheer on that first coat, but the color is building up nicely. The shimmer stands out nicely against this base color as well. And like most of the other polishes, this one does dry a bit dull. So this one does cover completely in 3 coats. I think a lot of these 3-coaters, you could probably get away with 2 if you really wanted to. But for full coverage and the deepest color, you definitely are going to want 3. And again, those brush strokes that you see in the shimmer, when it's wet, do smooth out as it dries. So that is 3 coats of Nocturne. And the last polish is called REM, and this is a not super deep but deeper blue with a green shimmer and that scattered silver holographic. So this one is also a bit sheer on that first coat. It is the darkest color in the collection, so it does cover the best out of all of them though. Good formula on this, and that green shimmer stands out really nicely. So this polish is the only one in this collection that I can really say is a solid 2-coat polish. I don't think you'll need 3 here. And that is because it is such a darker shade. It is a darker shade. I don't think I needed the such in there. It does dry a bit dull, so you will want top coat. And again, like I've mentioned, those little tiny holographic glitters can give you a little, like the slightest bit of texture, but you will want to cover that up with top coat. So that is 2 coats of REM. So I think Cloud 9 is actually going to be my favorite. I like the shimmer with the base color in this one. I feel like the shimmer stood out just a little bit more than the other base colors, and I just like the combo. This is just the one that jumped out to me. So Cloud 9 is my favorite. So that is the Dreamscape collection from Cirque Colors. Again, I will link that website down below where you guys can check those out. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.